Assalamualaikum and good day, Dr. Hussein. My name is Sofiah Binti Ramli and my metric number is 067702. In this video, I will share about my research proposal, which is the title is The Impact of Climate Change of Somalia's Food Security. This research is about the impact of climate change on Somalia in the context of their food security. So Somalia is a country in the Horn of Africa. It is bordered by Djibouti in the northwest, Kenya in the southwest, and Ethiopia to the west. After what I have studied in depth, many previous studies have shown that there are three types of climate change that being the biggest factor to food security in Somalia. What I found is that droughts, floods, and desertification are causing big problems in Somalia for their food. But in general, Somalia also depends on rain-fed agriculture. The country experiences two rainy seasons, the first in mid-April to June and the second in mid-October to December. In 2015, the country experienced a drought that caused millions of people there to suffer from hunger, and this made Somalia suffer from food security threats. So El Nino is also emphasized in this study because its impact on Somalia is very large, which happened in 1998. At that time, the community had difficulty getting food and their health was not guaranteed. The latest climate change has now caused many population deaths in Somalia and also the destruction of crops and livestock death. This study, I put the theory of dependency because Somalia is more dependent on their weather than doing other intervention for their country. For example, diversity in plants that can adapt to various weather conditions. There are also foreign countries such as the UN that help them with humanitarian aid there. In terms of basic food, which is wheat, Somalia depends on Ukraine, where Ukraine is the largest exporter of wheat to Somalia. But when the conflict between Russia and Ukraine occurs in 2022, this could also be a cause for food security in Somalia. However, the case of I mentioned above is the current issue is just an example of the theory of dependency that I have mentioned earlier. So in this study as well, I put the timeline of climate change in Somalia as a deeper understanding of why Somalia is difficult to develop other interventions. As we know, the United Nations declared Somalia as the least developed country, where the majority of communities in Somalia only depend on agriculture and livestock for their survival. So the main article that is used to focus on the impact of climate change in Somalia is assessing the effects of climate change and political instability on sorghum production, which is it is for an empirical evidence from Somalia. So it was written by Abdi Malik Ali Warsam, which was published in 2022. So the persistent and intensifying the threat of climate change affects food security across the globe, especially agricultural productivity in nations such as Somalia. So the major impacts are increased frequency and intensity of extreme climatic events like rising temperatures, anomalous patterns in rainfall, dry periods that last long, creating water shortage. So these changes bring great challenges to the global systems of agriculture, affecting food security in terms of supply, stability, accessibility, and consumption. So sorghum is one of the main crops grown by poor regions in Africa, such as Somalia, but climate change endangers its output at key stages. Climate risks such as droughts and flood contribute to food scarcity, malnutrition, coupled with high poverty levels among pastoralists and agro-pastoralist population in Somalia. So In this study, I have used a qualitative method. This method is the collection and analysis of data. It consists of interviews, observations, or analysis of past research materials to understand the context and meaning in the study. And in addition, this method is also from secondary sources. There is book, documents, and even notes. I will study more deeply about how Somalia will face climate change in their country, how households in Somalia adapt to climate change, and also what is the solution or interventions of foreign countries for Somalia. So that's all from me. Thank you.